welcome. I'm glad you're here. So many people have asked me to give an overview of our curriculum, and it's a really exciting thing to do. We have 20 minutes to do this, and I could spend a week easily going over. It's such a complex and beautiful. It's like a gorgeous meal. That's what curriculum for a school is. It's pretty amazing. And just to give you an overview, of course, we're teaching to the whole child, so it's very deep, the thinking that we've done. And just a quick picture, if you were trying to do a big overview, this is a picture of a human being with a way that some people describe it, the different chakras. So there's physical, social, intellectual, emotional, being able to personal power. Can you make things happen? Can you intuit what's going on with other people? Creativity coming through your head. And we think about all those things, try to put them in all the areas of the curriculum and make it all meld together. And then we're working with the community and having intergenerational. It's so complex. But right now I'm just going to focus on the core curriculum that we use, kindergarten to 8th grade, so you have an understanding of all the different pieces. Okay. So I'll start with math. And when we choose curriculum, we are very careful. We talk to other teachers, we talk to other schools, we have very good contacts on the board of directors, for instance, of the National Council of Teachers of Math, and so we use them. They're consultants about what are the best curriculums. You can use a curriculum that's like the cookbooks I get in the Midwest that are use Jell-O and Cool Whip and pretzels and stir them together, and it tastes delicious, but it's not all that nutritious. It's not that great. You can get curriculums that are more like the Moosewood cookbook, where if you have 12 hours to make your dinner, and so you have to find the one that works for all the things you're trying to fit in the year and how deep you want to go. So also when you're choosing a curriculum, you want to think about where you're trying to go. If you just go out, people, like there's a place in Minnesota called the Zone where they don't have zoning, they don't, and people build their houses without anyone giving them permits and things. And houses there, people will just go and build a house, and they'll put the studs too far apart, and they won't put a foundation, and 5 years later, that house is a wreck. If you want something to be able to go really high, you need to do it really well. And my house is a good example, because I would like to put a second story on my house, but it was built, the foundation is not of the depth and solidness that you need to be able to put a second foundation. So foundation. So we want, we'll have kids that go off into the trades, that go into the arts. We'll have kids that go to graduate school and postgraduate school. Calculus, you want to make sure that the foundation we give them is really solid, and that is super, super important in math. Because you can teach kids, you can move really quick, teaching them algorithms, teaching them how to do addition and subtraction by all the little tricks and things. And they get up into algebra, and they're like hanging on, and they often fail. And huge numbers of students in the United States can't go past algebra because their foundation isn't deep enough. On the other hand, you can use a really broad curriculum. A curriculum we used to use was investigations. It's like the Moosewood cookbook. Kids understand at a really deep level. And those kids are really, they grok it at the big level when they get into calculus and things like that. We found that this curriculum, because we have so many other things in our curriculum, was a little too deep for us. If we could have math for 2 hours a day, this would have been good. So we switched a few years ago to this curriculum, Envision, and we use this kindergarten through 6th grade. And it's kind of a combination. It's part of this and part of more a normal school curriculum with more algorithms and things like that. So the kids are doing a lot of hands-on constructivist work. They're working with materials, but they're also learning the algorithms as they go along. And so this curriculum, like here's kindergarten, lots of materials, and the kids are working with stuff like this, and then.
Do you make those old ones available if anyone wants to? This kind of like complement with it?
Yes. Well, this curriculum was designed to work with the investigation. Okay. So teachers, when they want to go deep with something, they pull from the investigations and do a unit on that, and then they go back to this curriculum. It's not, the investigations one isn't really one you could do at home.
No,
it takes a lot of mathematical understanding and training.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you had a student who wasn't super, super strong and actually needed some extra, it may be maybe perhaps a different approach.
Right. And we do pull kids that are having trouble with math and give them another approach. And maybe at some point that would be good if we could train a parent. But it takes you several years to know how to use the investigations one. So Envision Math goes all the way up through 6th grade, and or 7th graders who need it. And then we move to the Prentice Hall, and we have pre-algebra, and some kids do algebra. It's recommended that you don't put kids in algebra. Even the state of California a few years ago said put every 8th grader in algebra. That was a decision by politicians, not by educators. The National Council of Math was horrified because they knew that would mean now we'll have kids who can't do calculus because they fail in algebra. And it's very hard to describe to keep the kids from feeling bad about not doing algebra. But those who are ready go into algebra, and others stay in pre-algebra, and then in 9th grade go into algebra. And we have some kids who just really, really accelerate, and we just had, like this year, we have, I think, 3 kids who are in geometry also. So kids in math at our school can, if we feel really strongly they would be better 1 grade up, we will move them up. But we're really, and the teachers are very versed in what's the foundation you want. Sometimes parents are pushing, like, I think my kid's ready, and they want to push them in, and we want your kid to be able to do calculus. So we're really careful about that, but we do move kids so they're taught at their right level. Any other questions about math? Okay. So, language arts. Language arts is huge because it's everything. It's, what's the outcome you want? You want people who, they develop their language. They're able to listen and comprehend at a really deep level. Auditory. It's being able to be public speakers. It's being able to say what you want to say and then support it with supporting information. It's being able to be clear. And then it's a whole other language. How do you do that in reading and writing? And if you've ever tried to transcribe yourself talking and then think that will be a letter you could send out to someone, you realize writing is a whole other language. It's not the same. The whole how you put it together is completely different. And so teaching the skills of reading and writing, a whole other level. So at the kindergarten level, they start with the morning meeting. You might have seen outside they always have a big poster with questions. So the kids arrive with their parents at the beginning of the day now, and they look and they read something, and it says, today we're going to do this. What do you think of that? And the kids all write a little response. So they're seeing how reading and writing really is part of life and helps prepare you for the day. Kindergarten through 3rd grade uses handwriting without tears for learning how to write their letters. And so it goes up from basic, this is like the kindergarten level, and then it goes all the way up into cursive writing. And it's the program that's best recommended by occupational therapists, or people who know what helps kids the best in learning those kinds of things. We use a writing workshop, which is a way of writing, teaching kids to write, and then look at their editing of their writing, not just writing for yourself, but read it to someone and then have them say, well, what color was your brother's hat, and why did you go here? Learning how to think in terms of an audience as they're writing. Kindergarten through 6th grade, we use Sit and Spelling, which is a program that builds on word families and helps kids understand the connection between there are many non-rules in English, but there are ways that you can understand why words are grouped the way they are. And so this is the kindergarten manual, and this is the 5th or 6th grade manual, 6th grade manual. And then 1st through 6th grade,
Lord,
Step Up to Writing. This is just one teacher's manual. Each teacher has their own manual for each of these things. Each teacher has their own whole sets of things. And Step Up to Writing is a really cool writing program because it takes, it used to be our teachers would say, write a paragraph, and people would be like, they didn't know how to write a topic sentence that grabs people in, and then supporting parts, and then a transition, a concluding sentence, and then a transition to the next paragraph. this breaks down all those skills into little tiny pieces so kids understand how to do that. So at first grade, they have a green line they write through their, that this is a paragraph, and they color it in green with that topic sentence, and then they learn to do the supporting ones, and they do that in yellow, and then they have the concluding sentence, and that's in red, and they do that every year. They do that kind of skill, but they're building and building to use vocabulary that's really deep and really, and learning how to use the thesaurus and how to use metaphors in their writing, but using always that pattern of how you put together first one paragraph and then eventually multi-paragraph essays and narrative and expository. So that's the Step Up to Writing. It's a great program. As you can see, there's a lot that they're teaching using that.